Well, that song that we has a lot more meaning to me than it used to, because when you're sick, you need to trust and, of course, obey. First, I wanted to thank everyone for the prayers and the cards and the fruit basket. I've had an apple out of it so far. But those grapefruit, I can't eat them. I love them, but they were especially good, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
This time in the hospital has been the most, I don't know, productive, maybe is the word. Lisa brought me in at 1:30 on Monday to the emergency room. I was supposed to go through the emergency room to get into the hospital, and she brought me in, and they signed us in, and we sat back out. That there were probably 100 sick people there waiting to get in. So we sat there 4 hours, and we decided to go home. Now, I must be dense or something, because I had not even thought about calling my doctor. Didn't even cross my mind. And I picked up the phone to call Ron, I guess it was. I don't remember. And I thought, why don't I call Dr. Ayers? And I did, and got his nurse. I was just really telling her what was wrong, what was going on. And she says, wait, you don't have to say any more. I'm going to talk to Dr. Ayers and I'll call you back. Well, she never called me back, but I was admitted to ER within 30 minutes maybe. And then I got a room. There were lots of people lined up out in a bed, but no room, but I got a room. It was, 11 more hours before I got a room upstairs, but at least I was in a room with a bed. And I thank God for that, because the doctor, when he came in the room before I had the procedure, he came in the room, and I looked up at him, I was laying down and he's tall. I looked up at him and I said, Doctor, I was just praying that God would guide your hand. I didn't know whether he was a Christian or not. And he looked at me, and he just looked at me, maybe a minute. And he said, I pray that every day for the same thing, and mercy and grace. And he just went on for what he prayed for. And that just made everything okay. And I knew everything was going to be okay. Now, they didn't find anything wrong with my heart, but there is something wrong. I am retaining fluid. It's just, we'll just have to go do something else. But God has been with me. I'm able to get around. We had Christmas at our house yesterday, and we were served from our chairs. And our daughters, Lisa and Grace, served us, and they brought most of the food, and then they cleaned up the kitchen. You wouldn't have even thought there would, Kathy, you won't have a mess at all. And so that was a blessing also. And I just want you to know that if you do trust the Lord and pray, and everything's okay. It's okay if it's not okay, you know what I mean? It's God's will. And that's what I was praying for. He could have taken me home. In fact, before the surgery, the procedure, they called it surgery. Before the procedure, that morning, I didn't think Ron was going to have anybody with him. That was on Thursday morning. And so that morning I texted Lisa and I said, again, I didn't think she'd be there. I said, just know that I love you and take care of Ron, and I don't know, I made her guilty, because she said we're on our way. So I don't know if it was because of what I wrote, but she came and was with Ron during that time, she and Kevin, and so I'm grateful for that. And I know I'm taking up Ron's preaching time, so I better stop. I just love all of you. Before this procedure, I hugged all of you, and if you want to be hugged again, but I've got a cold, so you probably don't. So I love you.
Yeah, bless your heart. Amen. Thank you, Gene. And all of God's people said, amen. You're helpless when you see your loved one going through struggles. And we didn't know if she was coming back out. I thought she had stroked through this because she was out so long after her procedure. And she never did really come back to me. I got her home and she still really wasn't there. And but during the night, the Lord gave me a dream that she was back. And sure enough, she woke up and she was there. So God's faithful, And listen, our faith that we need to have, faith works